but I was completely unaware of how Kenesha manifested out to the world. I had been successful seemingly up to that point, but when I got with those people, like the reality of me needing to change hit me like a brick wall. And it took years of feedback and oh my gosh, like painful feedback for me to like kind of awaken that Kenesha, yeah, you got some good things, but there's some things, girl, about you that you need to work on and grow if you're going to meet the needs of other people. And so what I love about them is I grew past all of that, right? So at the end of it, at the end of me being a principal, we were family. They knew me, I knew them, but it took years of me going through this work that we're going through today, becoming intentionally aware of how I show up to the world, right? Have you guys ever walked around and then you went to a mirror and you kind of saw something in your face and was like, why didn't nobody tell me that? Anybody other than me? It's like, well, I've got a booger hanging out of my nose, my hair's out of place, you know, whatever's happening, and somebody should have told me. That's what this disc is like. It's like taking a mirror and holding a mirror up before your face and really seeing who you are and what the other people are seeing. That guy to the bottom left, that's Dr. Pinling. When I was pretty smart my whole life, but when I got into my first doctorate degree program, I almost quit multiple times. I felt ill-equipped. I felt like at any moment somebody was gonna say, she's an imposter, kick her out of the room, right? I did not feel like I was smart enough to finish that program, but this guy was not only my dissertation cohort chairperson for 2 years, but he also coached me, and you can do this, and it's about perseverance. It's not about feeling smart. So I will honor him for the rest of my life. So I appreciate him. This guy here in the middle, Dr. John C. Maxwell, many of you may know him. I do masterminds around his content. He's my coach, one of my coaches, and we just got back in December from Australia and Papua New Guinea. We spent about 2 weeks over there bringing transformation to that country. And so I had the pleasure of being in the room with prime ministers and leaders of the country, not because we were better, but because we have believed in values-based leadership. And so I feel honored that I get to be able to touch people that are trying to really have an impact on the world, not just success, right? Anybody can be success, but significance. Adding significance and value. And then the last two people, if you look at this lady right here, if you've been in our district, that's Jan Gonzalez. She's our former superintendent for many years. OMG, I love Jan, but Jan has cut me to the core. And let me tell you why I appreciate that. Because I would not be the woman I am today without her guidance and counsel. It's not just about people who love you all the time. It's about people who love you enough and care enough to tell you, listen, I see what's happening and this is good, but let me tell you, let me coach you to become better here. And so I so adore and appreciate her because again, it's not the pat on the back, Kenesha, you did great, that I appreciate about her and people really. It's the, okay, I love you, but let me kind of give you some feedback on how you can improve. And so that's Jan, and then the last person I want to give honor to, this is our current superintendent, Lori Clark. And for 13 years, Lori and I are completely different in our style. So, and we'll get into this a little bit later. Lori's a C, I'm an I, which is completely opposite. I know I get on her nerves, I know I do. But she's so kind, like all the time. And so again, the same thing I loved about Jen, I loved about Lori, we're completely different. So exactly my deficits were her strengths. But what I loved about her is she was able to coach me, and I never doubted Kenesha. Make sense? I never felt bad about who I was as a person, but I knew that there were some character traits and behaviors that I needed to change.